Hi everyone, it's Terry from Danu's Irish Herb Garden, and it's a really lovely day. It's calm and the tide is out, so I'm heading down to the shore to collect some seaweed, and then we can get started on our veg beds ready for next year. Come on dogs. Here we go. Come on. Hi. Okay, so I've got all my bags and I'm going to fill them up from this seaweed which has been washed ashore from during storms, and you can see a lot of plastic has been washed up as well, which is always the case, especially on our south facing shores, because the wind is southwesterlies, the prevailing wind. So I may as well take this plastic with me and then I can dispose of it at home. But for centuries, my ancestors would have collected seaweed because it's so full of minerals, it replenishes the soil and it helps to build the soil as it rots down. And I still continue that tradition today. So I'm going to fill these bags with this seaweed and bring it home and mix it in with mix it into the topsoil, and then I'll cover it over with compost that I've made. And if something doesn't want to grow in that, it just doesn't want to grow. Seaweed is quite brittle on the top because it's been exposed to the wind, but underneath, as you can see, it's really mushy and slimy, soft and gooey, and that's going to be brilliant because that part of it will break down and really feed our raised beds. You could also put some seaweed into a barrel and fill it up with water, and then you stir it left, right, keep stirring in the two directions until you create a vortex, and then you can put intention into that. You can put the intention that this is going to really nourish your soil or your pots, and then you've got a wonderful liquid feed as well, which is always beneficial. I love doing something that connects me to my ancestors. They would have done this for centuries, right up until my time, because I'm doing it. So that's a lovely way to have a connection with my cultural heritage and with my grandparents and all the ones who came before. And it's very moisturising actually, so I'm not too worried about all that gooey stuff on my hands. So last bag, thank goodness. But all seaweeds are edible as well. I wouldn't eat this, obviously, but if you get fresh seaweed, It's very good for you in many ways. And actually all the different varieties along our coastline, they all taste quite different to one another. So it's a very interesting experience. And in the future, we're going to do a film identifying seaweeds and showing you which ones taste the best. But for example, corrigine, which grows out on the rocks, would be very good for respiratory problems. This kind of stuff, the bladderwrack, is good for skincare. So, you know, you can learn a lot. Because if you think about the people who lived on the western seaboard of Ireland, up until the 70s, 80s, 90s even, they didn't have a lot. So you had to make do with what you had. So more people then looked to the natural environment for their food and medicine. And because they're on the seashore, obviously seaweed would come into it. So dillisk would be used in many ways of food, many types of food. You can put it into your scones and into your bread. You can chew it. So we are blessed really wherever we are. There's so much abundance in nature, so many beings that are here to help us stay healthy and to feed us. And we just need to remember and to relearn how to build a relationship with them. Putting your hands into this mucky seaweed is a good way to start. So I'm going to leave this here now and go up and get the car and bring it back and start our new veg beds for next year. And we're doing it this early because I want this to be all broken down into soil by the time I'm doing the spring planting. See, this is just washed up. I don't even have to go beyond the end of the road for it. So why on earth would people ignore this wonderful resource that's just here for anybody to enjoy? There now, I think that's it. There. Right, I just rinsed my hand off in the sea. Sticking. There, that'll do. Now, so walk the dogs back. Come dogs, and we'll go and get the car. You'll love it when you get in the car. Yes, you will. Yes, you will. Now. Hey, hey. Okay, so I've got them back home. Okay, so I'm leaving the seaweed there for now until I get all of this area trimmed and the new beds laid out. And I'll keep you posted as to how the beds come on. Pile of cardboard here, They'll all be mixed together with some grass cuttings from the strimming, and we'll have them built up in no time. So if you've enjoyed this little movie, please subscribe and do the bell thing as well, and leave a comment. How do you improve your garden? Maybe you can give me some tips. Thanks for watching. See ya.